everybody, welcome back to EAFC 25, and we are in the January transfer window with Aston Villa, where we currently sit 4th in the table. We'll be taking on Leicester, who are bottom, and hopefully we can conjure up some goals out of somewhere. We have been struggling to score goals recently, but we have got negotiations with a new left back. We have sold Luca Digne to Fiorentina for 14 million, and we've reinvested some of that money into Alfie Doherty, is who I'm interested in. Left back and left mid. Really, really good crossing. Only 25 as well, so I think could be a very good player for us. And £11 million. So we're going to be making a profit when we basically consider we've sold Luca Digne to bring in Alfie Doherty. Happy to be a rotation, which is good because it means that he can rotate with Maatsen at left back, which is what ideally we did want to do. So I think we're just going to see this one through. He's on 28 grand at the moment. I think we can give him a bit of a pay bump. Let's go for like 35, which is less than what Luca Digne was on, and we'll see how they go with that as a starting position. It's an insult. He won't be joining our club, but I've messed up the deal with Alfie Doherty. Now, that's not going to be the end of it for Alfie Doherty, because I'm going to look to go in for him again a little bit later in the window. But for now, we're just going to have one left back at the club. I'm still considering what to do. Thank you all for your comments and letting me know what we should be doing. I do think we need potentially another striker in the club. We definitely will need another goalkeeper if it is confirmed that Gauchi will leave. Branthwaite is a bit out of realism at the moment. We could go for Dennis Sirkin from Sunderland, but Alfie Doherty is my number one target at left back. Mudryk I'm still interested in for a winger option as well, but we're quite stacked on the left-hand side at the moment. Oscar Bob and McAtee, I'm considering a loan bid for Oscar Bob. I think that is somewhat realistic. He doesn't play that much for them. In this save, he's not played for Man City at all. He's quite a decent player. Fatua, I think, would be more realistic towards the end of the season, giving him a whole season in the Premier League. Rooney Bargy is definitely one I'm looking at bringing in. I do think Rooney Bargy... I think we're going to go for Rooney Bargy. I think we are going to go for Rooney Bargy. And we're going to see if we can get this one done just before we go into the Leicester City game. So we'll just give them a straight out 5 mil. Let's go 5 mil, just above his market value. So we'll go for that. And we'll see. I'm not dismissing that. 5.3. I can go to 5.3. I think that's fine for an up-and-coming right winger. So Rooney Bargy will be doing those contract negotiations in the future. So Rooney Bargy is in the door. Here he is, the young right winger, up and coming, a bit of a wonder kid on Football Manager as well, which is my main game over on the first channel. Rocking one hell of a tash, Rooney Bargy. Excited to see what he can do. Does give us an option on right wing as well. So Rooney Bargy in the door. Now it's got the nod of approval as well from the board, an A rating for that one. So very, very happy. Only 19 years old, so I'll get him added to the spreadsheet. So with one player in, we see one player leave as well. We messed up Alfie Doherty, but Courtney Howes moves to Leicester City for £1.75 million, joining the team we're about to play, who are bottom of the Premier League. The board are very happy with that one as well. He had 6 months left on his contract. We've got plenty of options at centre-back, so I don't mind that at all. We actually have a loan offer for Duran, which was something we were potentially looking to entertain. We have got an offer there from West Brom. So again, we're going to delegate this one. Right, let me get this one right this time. I think I messed this up in the last episode. 2.5 is the minimum of what we are going to accept. And start negotiating at 4. And let's see what we can get from there. Now, John Duran, a loan offer. It could be good. Lombardi, I don't know who Lombardi are. Is that Inter Milan? I think it could be Inter Milan. For 6 months. We're going to leave that one in there. And then I'm like, do we go and have a look at Evan Ferguson? I don't know. I think we're going to play Leicester first, and then we'll do a bit more transfer stuff after that. Okay, so it's game day v Leicester, but we've got a £20 million offer for Matty Cash. Which is absolutely bonkers from Man United. So we're definitely going to try and deal with that. We are going to negotiate this one and see if we can get a little bit more. He's an 80 rated right back, so he is pretty good. I do think Matty Cash in real life would probably want to move from Aston Villa to Man United. They would definitely pay him a lot more money. Now, I'm a little bit interested in Victor Lindelof, to be honest, as a centre-back option. If they do still have Victor Lindelof for £10 million, 30 years old, a very good player. I wonder who else they have potentially. Not interested in Malasia. No, none of them. Don't need a goalkeeper. Well, in fact, we do need a goalkeeper, don't we? If Gauchi's going to leave. But I don't want Tom Heaton for sure. Wingers. I mean, Ahmad would be a good one. We could ask for Ahmad. That's more cover on the right wing as well. And then Rooney Bargi sort of becomes a good youngster backup. Midfielders. I wonder who they've got. They've signed Eric Sanchez has joined them. No, I don't really want any of them. Strikers. No, then Rasmussen Josh is a bit unlikely. Okay, we just go for... I think let's push for 30 million. Let's go 32. That's a bit much. They've offered 20. Let's go 30 and see if they want to do anything for 30 million. I mean, market value 17.5, 24.7. Can we get them up to just over 25? Let's go 27.5. That is sort of halfway. Matty Cash, do you want it? How much to Man United? 25.5. I'm going to accept 25.5. It's over £25 million for Matty Cash. I think that's a good deal. We might be looking for a right back. Man United in for a new right back. Weird, but that's who they want. So live action here back at Villa Park as they take on bottom of the table Leicester City, and Unai Emery has gone attacking for this one. Rooney Bargi, the new signing, the exciting youngster, makes the bench, but for the first time this season, Unai Emery has picked 2 strikers in the starting lineup. So rumours circulating in the press is that this is John Duran's last chance to impress Unai Emery with a possible loan move to Serie A in the offing. Fatua is being scouted by the Aston Villa scouts and he is in the lineup today. Courtney Howes makes his return to Aston Villa after just leaving them. He is straight in to the Leicester City back 4. Aston Villa, though, lining up, as we said, with 2 strikers in this one. It's a 4-4-1-1. It feels like Ollie Watkins is going to be playing off the tall and powerful John Duran up front. Martinez is in goal as normal. The back 4 is unchanged. Rogers, Onana, McGinn and Leon Bailey are midfield. Watkins and Duran up front. It's a 4-4-1-1 that seems to have got more of the ball for Aston Villa, but not necessarily more goals. Leicester in a 4-2-3-1. Jamie Vardy leading the line for them as captain. Hermansen in goal. It's Christensen, Vestergaard, Courtney Howes and Tomiyasu at the back. Skippen and Ndidi in the middle. De Cordova, Reed and Fatua on the wings, with Bilal El Kanaousi, who has 3 goals in his last 3 games in the attacking midfield role for Leicester. But it's Aston Villa that get this one underway, hoping for goals and a good game here at Villa Park. Leon Bailey looks to knock it into a bit of space for Rogers. He's there. Oh, McGinn was waiting for the knockdown, just couldn't get on the end of it. And a positive start from Aston Villa in this one, as here is Fatou on the ball. As then Aston Villa have been known to be scouting him in the past few days, but haven't made a bid just yet this early on in the January transfer window. Unai Emery happy with his squad, but has seen a number of youngsters leave on loan, so lacking a bit of squad depth in the Aston Villa team, as Fatua couldn't stay on side that time. Ollie Watkins playing in that slightly deeper role today finds Onana. Back to Watkins, who has a bit of time and space on the edge of the box here. He's inviting John McGinn forward, and John McGinn is into space. John McGinn shoots, goal for Aston Villa. It's been a long, long time since they've got one, but John McGinn has a goal as captain at Villa Park. The team bottom of the table put up 0 hope for that one. Ollie Watkins dropping deeper from that role, just held it up, invited McGinn forward. Really good run from the midfielder, and then a right-footed finish past Hermansen in goal makes it 1-0 Aston Villa, and that is the perfect start that this Villa team needed. Come on, God, we needed that. McGinn into Watkins. Onana moves in front of him, but Ndidi reads it really well. And to be fair, since the goal from John McGinn, this game has been a bit of a drab affair. No real chances for Leicester. Both teams just defending well. Leicester having a bit of possession, but really not doing very much with it, as Pau Torres wins that battle of physicality with Jamie Vardy, as you would expect from the centre-back. Watkins lays it off to Maatsen. Watkins dropping deeper is feeling quite good at the moment, actually. Leon Bailey in a good position. Really good block on that one from Vestergaard. Maatsen keeps it alive, who's offside though. McGinn, really good ball up to Duran. Duran trying to get it onto his favoured left foot. Lovely dink little pass over towards Morgan Rogers. His cross is in. Oh, Leon Bailey beaten by Christensen. And a good volley away. McGinn into Duran again. Really good spin and turn. Duran shoots. Oh, just past the post. That was a really good save from the keeper. Hermansen bringing out a really, really good save there. McGinn puts this one in a little bit deeper. Onana tries to win the first header, but Leicester City get that one away. Leon Bailey swings in a cross, not great on his weaker foot though, and Courtney Howes, the ex-Aston Villa man, can get that one away. Most people thought Villa were just going to see out Courtney Howes' contract, but they decided to cash in with 6 months left, and Leicester were a willing team to take the experienced centre-back. Watkins, that's a really good ball through. Duran's in, good turn. Duran, great save. Leon Bailey, oh, it's a terrible first touch. Leon Bailey picks out Watkins. Out it goes to Onana, who holds this one up, looks for the return into the box, into a dangerous area, but Courtney Howes does well, and 5 minutes to go till half-time. It has been pretty much all Aston Villa. You can see why Leicester are struggling down at the bottom of the table, even though they've brought in defensive reinforcements with Tomiyasu and Courtney Howes. They are lacking any forward momentum as Rodgers intercepts. Duran is in again. Duran! Oh, what a save from Hermansen. Duran is buying lots of tickets for the raffle, but can't get the winning ticket at the moment, as we're here with Pau Torres in the box, actually. What's he doing up there? Tries to dig out a cross. Onana flicks that one back to Enzri Konza. He finds Duran in there again. His shot's blocked, and Christensen will look to clear this one away. And that is half-time. 1-0 Aston Villa. John McGinn's goal is the difference. Leicester City have offered nothing going forward. So second half underway. Elias Yalert did pick up a yellow card in that first half. I forgot to mention a pretty tasty challenge on De Cordova-Reid. But yeah, all in all, a good first half. Let's keep it up. So an early substitution then for Leicester as Jamie Vardy's taken off to replace by Patson Daka up front. So more pace and more acceleration for this Aston Villa backline to be able to deal with. Can Patson Daka have more of an involvement? Oh no, it's Wissa, sorry. Can Wissa have more of an involvement than Jamie Vardy did in that first half? He had literally, I think, 2 touches of the ball. Great football here from Villa as Bailey releases Watkins. Oh, just managed to get that out of his feet a little bit. Rodgers, great ball through to Duran. He shoots. Oh, it's past the post, but he was offside. He's looking much better since the threat of that loan move, to be honest. Oh, good ball looking over the top, but Martinez reads it well. And again, Leicester City having a decent amount of possession, but doing very, very little with it. Leon Bailey looks for the crossfield pass to pick out Morgan Rodgers. It's a lovely pass, and he finds Onana into Duran, who tried to give the 1-2 with Onana. Couldn't quite pull it off, but I'm more than happy, by the way, sitting right now on a sort of counter-attack and letting Leicester have the ball when they're doing very minimal with it. And yeah, our defensive shape is very, very good in this 4-4-1-1. Onana looks up towards Duran but couldn't quite get the pass through the gap. Substitution then for Leicester City as Courtney Howes is coming off after his debut. Lack of match fitness is surely the issue there. He is going to be replaced by Okoli at the back. Aston Villa lining up 2 substitutions as well. Matty Cash is getting a potential farewell run out at right back, replacing the booked Elias Yalert. And Leon Bailey is replaced by Rooney Bargi for his debut. The 19-year-old Swedish right midfielder comes on at Villa Park. And here is Rooney Bargi's first involvement with the ball. Just going to go for a little jog down the right-hand side. He picks out John McGinn. Oh, that's going to deflect through to Onana as Fatoa is robbed in there very well. John McGinn does come into a bit of space. Duran tried to turn, but it was all a bit too congested. Leicester City are starting to get a few more men forward. That's a really good ball into Wissa. Shot past the post, and that's how fragile our 1-0 lead is at the moment. It's another substitution for Leicester as De Cordova-Reid, who'd been playing the last 5 minutes up front, is replaced by Odsonne Edouard. Rooney Bargi links up with Matty Cash, who definitely could be on his way. Could potentially be on his way to Man United. That's a good pass to McGinn, but his heavy touch just sort of let him down as Leicester City looking to hit on the counter-attack once more. Odsonne Edouard out to Wissa. The 2 substitutes combining well here as Edouard tries to give it back to Wissa. Good save, Martinez. He may have been offside though, and he was just offside by a big toe and a shoulder, I think. A big foot, to be honest. Rooney Bargi into Duran. Tries to give it back to the Swedish international, and Rooney Bargi could be in it. He's not got too many options. Goes for the cutback, but it's really well read by the Leicester City defenders. And Rooney Bargi showing what he's about there. A good little 1-2 with Duran. As Duran's impressed me. I mean, I still think a loan move's the best for him, but he definitely has impressed me in this game up front. As that's really good pressure. Watkins picks it up into Duran, turns, gets it onto his favoured left foot. Good shot, good save from Hermansen, and it'll be a corner. And whilst John Duran has had a better game, this is probably one of his better efforts, forcing a save from Hermansen there. It is going to be his last involvement, as he's going to be replaced by Job Bellingham, and Ross Barkley coming on to replace Onana as well. Fresh legs in the engine room. And with all of those substitutions happening, it's John McGinn to take the corner. He's going to swing this one into the danger area, looking for Watkins with a header. Just loops over the bar. Leicester City definitely being a bit more adventurous now. Skip into Ndidi, who just holds on to the ball. Skip on it again. Out it goes to Christensen. We've actually got a decent defensive shape back in position now, and forced Leicester back a little bit. Here comes Visser. Back to Christensen. Leicester not really getting anywhere with the ball. They're waiting patiently for the space to open up, as Odsonne-Edouard does look like he had a little bit of space there. Christensen finally overlaps Visser once, but yeah, this is what Leicester have been about today. They've not really had any penetrating balls over the top or through the back line. When they have, to be fair, Martinez has been called on a couple of times and he's done very well. Odsonne-Edouard, that's much better. They're moving the ball at pace. Visser comes forward for Leicester. Pau Torres comes over and just completely takes him out of the game. Fairly, but completely takes him out of the game, as John McGinn now comes forward. Looks for Rooney Bargi, the youngster not having too much strength there to manage to hold off his man. Oh, Ross Barkley's dived in on Fatua with a minute left. It's a straight red card for Ross Barkley. That's not going to impress Unai Emery when you've not had that many minutes and you're on the pitch and you dive in with a reckless tackle and get sent off with a minute to go when your team are 1-0 up. I thought Fatua was going to go down the line. I slid in, he cut back. It's a straight red for Ross Barkley. So Aston Villa are going to play the final 30 seconds of this game with 10 men. And it is Fatua who's on it. I mean, Morgan Rogers has done a really good job there. It's full time, 1-0 Villa. Finally, 3 points live on camera. So we're playing the team bottom of the table, and Torres had a very, very good game at centre-back. Leicester really didn't threaten us that much at all. I think John Duran actually had a really good game, and there we go. We get a question about him, so we can encourage him, even though he might be going out on loan. We will encourage John Duran because he did have a good game up there, and McGinn was unplayable once again. Our captain is superb. So it looks like Jaden Philogene is off to Newcastle on loan for the rest of the season, which is good. We've got a role update for Job Bellingham. He can be a box-to-box double, and then we're going to get him on the shadow striker role, so that when we switch that second formation, he can fill in at cam, which will be pretty good. Offers for players are still the ones that we're dealing with. Gochi we've delegated, and Duran. Let's go and see if we can pick up. Let's go and see if we can pick up a striker then, and see what we've got potentially. Now, Gift Orban would probably be a good loan option to bring in. Evan Ferguson hasn't played any football this year for Brighton. Could we loan? The club isn't interested in loan. You can purchase him. I mean, 10.5 million. If we could get him for around that, that's pretty good for Evan Ferguson. The other thing is Sikan, to have something a little bit different. They're not looking to loan him either. Hekimoglu I wouldn't want to loan in. I'd probably buy and have him as a youth product, potentially. Do we try and get Evan Ferguson for, I'd say anything around 11 million is probably a good deal. Liverpool have had a bid rejected for him, so I do feel like we've got potential here to have a go. Let's test the waters with just a 10.5 million bid and see where they sit. We'll just go in at market value and see what they want. They want 12.3. Now that's not dreadful, is it? Let's go 11. Let's go 11.5. Sort of in the middle, isn't it? We'll keep that 5% sell-on clause. That's not a problem. 12.2. They're gonna. I think they want above 12. So let's go 12. I feel like 12 million for Evan Ferguson. He's not played at all for them this season. They want 12.1. We'll do 12.1. I think that's still a good deal for Evan Ferguson. Okay, the deal for Evan Ferguson is done. He's happy to join as a sporadic option and is willing to just take like a 1 or 2k pay rise from Brighton. So I do think with Ferguson, Duran and Watkins, we're going to be set for quite a while. Jaden Philogene does go out on loan for 6 months to Newcastle. That should be a decent move for him. We'll be covering all the wages there. But Evan Ferguson is in, £12.1 million. And I'll get him added. It's an A rating again, 20 years old, 46 grand a week. I do think that is a bit of a bargain. Now, do we then send Duran out? Or do we have 3 options? It's only a short-term loan, which is why I'm not against it. Especially now that we've bought in Evan Ferguson. I sort of feel like we accept it, right? I'm not going to accept it at the moment. We're going to have a bit of time to think about it, I think. So he's not on the loan list, by the way. The transfer list now is Gelchi, Olsen and Maatsen, because for some reason he's asked for himself to be on there, which I can't really remember, and I don't know why, according that he's our starting left back. But yeah, the squad is coming along nicely. We've got a lot of players out on loan though, which we need to be very, very wary of. Right, we are going to sim the FA Cup game against Crawley, and then we'll be back for the games after that. But news before that is that Matty Cash is out of here. He is joining Man United, so we also do need a potential right back. I think I'm looking at a loan option because I'd like to give one of the youngsters a potential go as well. But Matty Cash is off and he is joining Man United for £25.5 million. Okay, we've got an offer for Leon Bailey, £49.1 million from Crystal Palace. I'm going to reject that because I don't think Leon Bailey would move from us to Crystal Palace. And I am going to reject both these loan offers for Duran. Looking at the makeup of our club on the Excel spreadsheet, I have noticed that we are short. We're actually quite short of players now. So we do need to go out there and potentially look to bring some others in. As I said, I'm looking at a right back on loan, so I'm going to go and have a look at that. But we are still early on in January, so not too much we need to consider at the moment. We do have another offer for Gouch there, 225. So I think, I swear we had an offer accepted, right, of 2.5 million. Did he? He must have turned them down. So I think we're just going to accept that 2.25 from Watford, yeah, and then he can decide if he wants to go to Watford or not. So Joe Gauci has agreed to move to Watford for £2.25 million. So Rob Olsen will be our standout backup goalkeeper. Bad negotiating, apparently. We could have got a lot more for him, but I don't mind that one. We do have Crawley now in the FA Cup, which we are going to simulate. We'll put a bit of rotation in. We'll go for our more attacking lineup, which I think is this one that you see on the screen, but we'll get a lot of our sort of, well, let's give Evan Ferguson a debut in here. And Rooney Bargy can get a full debut as well. Tyrone Mings can come in at centre-back. Ramsey can come in for Rodgers. Jude Bellingham can start over McGinn. We've got, that's it, yeah, like our squad is very thin on the ground at the moment. Diego Carlos can start. We'll put, Barkley can't go on the bench because he's suspended. So Duran comes on. So we actually only have, wow, a very small squad. Yeah, we might have to look to call back a youngster off loan to play backup or something. But this is how we're going to start against Crawley. We're going to simulate it, and hopefully it should be a convincing win because that is a strong lineup. It's not convincing. It's extra time. 2-1 with Watkins getting the winner in the 110th minute, and it was Ramsey getting our goal to start us off. But we are through to the next round. That's the most important thing. So I did just go back in for Alfie Doherty, but they are asking for £20 million. So that is far too rich for my blood for Alfie Doherty. I'm tempted by Dennis Serkin at left back, but I'm going to keep looking, see what's out there. Definitely need a left back and a right back to come in. The only thing I guess we could have a quick look at, and I did allude to it before, is who do we have out on loan? If we have a look... okay, so let's go by position. So Olsen and Martinez at the moment is fine. I think I will bring in a young English goalkeeper, though, just to break up the numbers. Moreno, oh, we could call back Moreno, actually, on loan at Nottingham Forest. We could call back him for the second half of the season. In terms of right backs, we've only just loaned out Nedljkovic, so I'm not going to call him back. Kesler Hayden is out at Preston, who we could potentially call back. In terms of central midfield, a Barentia at Valencia we're not going to call back. We're not going to call back Bogard, not going to call back Richards. Dobbin I'm not too fussed about at the moment. Then Donker at Anderlecht, no. O'Reilly probably not. Barry doesn't need to come back. Philigen's just gone out. Illing Jr. is on loan at Bologna for the whole season. Yeah, okay, so there's not actually too many options we could call back. Moreno... I think we're going to call Moreno back. I think we're going to recall Moreno for $500,000. No, I might as well just go and loan someone else for less. So behind closed doors, we've agreed a deal with Sheffield Wednesday to bring in young goalkeeper Piers Charles for £850,000. It gets a C rating from the board, but with the sale of Gelchi to Watford, I just thought a third choice goalkeeper is the right thing to do. So we'll remove Lee off that list for now. Still no luck with the left back or right back. So yes, we'll be going into a little bit more of the season without backup fullbacks. I mean, we do have Konza who can play right back, which isn't necessarily a bad thing to do. I don't mind that at all. Ross Barkley is available. Gauchi has been sold to Watford. We know all of that good stuff. Right, let's crack on. So we're taking on Everton in the Premier League, and again we'll go with the more attacking system because they're below us. Ramsey asked if he can play, so we are going to start him in this one. Duran is on the bench. We've got the youngster Charles. Let's put Charles as our backup goalkeeper on there. Ross Barkley's back from suspension, but we rested most of these players for the FA Cup, so I think we just start with our normal team. And let's get this quick sim done, and then we're playing Arsenal next. It's a 3-2 win with goals from Watkins. He got a brace, and Yelert as well. Lindstrom scored in the 75th minute. NDI scored for them as well. So another good win. That's back-to-back wins, according that we got one on camera and a sim as well, not including obviously the win against Crawley in the cup. Don't really count that. But yeah, Arsenal next, who are down in 9th, which isn't very good for them. So it's game day v Arsenal at the Emirates. Man City have come in for Yuri Tielemans, 30.6 million. Wowzers, what are they thinking? I mean, I'm going to negotiate it. 30.6 million for Tielemans, and it's Man City, so he would want to go. He would definitely want to go, but I think we can get more out of them because he's a crucial part of how we play at the moment. So I'm going to ask for a whopping like 45 mil and see what Pep thinks of that. Potentially, we could try and get Oscar Bob here because he is on my list of players that I'm interested in. I wonder who they have in central midfield that we could potentially get to replace. Oh, Mateus Nunes. He's not played for them at all this season either. That could be an interesting one to bring in as a replacement. 17.5 million, or do we need? We need Oscar Bob more than that. So we'll go 8 million. Let's go Oscar Bob for 8 million, and we'll lower this to 42, which takes it to 50 million pounds for Yuri Tielemans. I'm pretty sure he's going to say no. Yeah, it's not practical. That's fine. I think we tried to get a deal. Tielemans is crucial to how we play at the moment, so I don't mind that. Maybe I'll reject turning down that original bid, but I think the way Tielemans is playing for us, we had to get something back in return, and they didn't want to give us Oscar Bob and 42 million. I thought he might negotiate, but he didn't. Let's go and play Arsenal. Here we are then at the Emirates, home of Arsenal Football Club as they take on Aston Villa. Arsenal struggling this season, down in 9th, much below expectations. They were the favourites to be challenging Man City for a title run. Aston Villa up in 4th, clinging on to the Champions League places. Just a 1-0 win against Leicester City was their last run out in the Premier League. The Arsenal faithful here are hoping for an improvement of form, and it starts with Neto in goal in a 4-4-2. Norberto Neto gets the nod over David Raya. Timber and Saliba at the back with Ben White and Kieran Tierney in there. Saka and Sterling on the wings. Gabriel Jesus partners Kai Havertz up front. On the bench, Kiwior and Martinelli will look to make an impact. Aston Villa go with their 4-3-3 system, which actually shouldn't be the case. It should be our 4-4-1-1, but Torres and Konza are in the middle. Anana, Leon Bailey and McGinn, Duran, Watkins and Rogers all make the lineup. I'm going to need to go in and change that. The squad issues are so bad, we named 2 goalkeepers on the bench. Okay, ignore the match intro. I've checked the tactics. We are playing a 4-4-1-1. Duran's lone move to Serie A fell through as Aston Villa decided they want to keep him within the ranks. And there are some changes happening at Villa Park, to be honest, in terms of personnel. But Unai Emery's happy. An agreement for Yuri Tielemans could not be confirmed with Man City as Kai Havertz shoots early on straight at Martinez. But yeah, Tielemans, a deal couldn't be agreed with Pep Guardiola's Man City, so Tielemans remains at Villa Park for now. It'll be interesting to see if there's any more action coming through there, as Elias Yalert just missed the chance to put that cross in, so fires a pass back to Konza, and Unai Emery well, against his former club as well, right? Arsenal, it's going to be up against it and tough, you would imagine. Here, fired in towards John McGinn. Onana looks out wide. And he's offside, Ollie Watkins. Good rob there as Rodgers comes forwards with it. Duran makes a really good run. He has stayed offside. He's not onside at all. But Unai Emery going for that partnership of Ollie Watkins playing in behind Duran again. See how that goes. Obviously, new signing Evan Ferguson on the bench as well. Again, looks for Leon Bailey, who's, well, it's a really good run from Duran. He stayed onside that side. It was really good. Watkins has pulled wide. Here is Duran. Aston Villa just recycling the ball a little bit. McGinn tries to give it back to McGinn. I nearly said McGinn tries to give it back to McGann. What I meant to say was McGinn tries to give it back to Duran, but Ben White read it well. Matson looks up towards Duran. Saliba's read that well. Really good centre-back, William Saliba for Arsenal. Moreno and Odegaard in the middle. Not getting on the ball as much as Arsenal would like. They seem to be attacking down this right-hand side with Ben White and Saka more than looking to get the creativeness of Odegaard involved. Havertz is tackled well there by Onana as Ollie Watkins can bring this one away. McGinn looks towards Leon Bailey. Back to Elias Yeller. No one's tracked that run of Bailey and he has stayed on side. A few lack of options. Bailey tries to dig out across. Ben White's there. It's not the best headed clearance, but Neto does well to claim. 20 minutes gone, 0-0. Saka into Havertz. There's runners in front. Gabriel Jesus is one of them. Up against Pau Torres. Jesus just ran out of space and it's just closed down really well. McGinn, lovely little looking ball towards Duran, controls it well, but Yuri and Timber, really good defending from a man that's had such bad issues with injuries whilst being at Arsenal in real life. It's good to see him out on a virtual pitch at least. Hopefully he will be back and recovered as well. Good defender, Timber. Oh, Kai Havertz has robbed the ball high up the pitch. And that is going to give Arsenal a chance. Raheem Sterling went on loan to Chelsea, but he's back. He's on loan from Chelsea at Arsenal. And he's not done well there. Rodgers comes forward. Duran, that's a great step from Saliba. Half an hour gone, 0-0. Oh my word, Kai Havertz has just scored an absolute banger. Out of nothing. I was standing off him. He was doing step overs. I thought, I'll just go and commit when he stops fannying around with the ball. And he stopped fannying around with the ball and pinged it top corner. He was doing all this sort of trickery with his feet, and then on his left foot, as I went to pressure it, just pinged it over Emery Martinez into the top corner. 1-0 Arsenal with an absolutely outstanding goal. John McGinn gets away from his man. He's got Leon Bailey outside him. Leon Bailey just looks to turn. Can he swing in across? Looks towards McGinn. Saliba did get the header. It nearly fell for Ollie. Oh, that's a terrible clearance. Leon Bailey! Oh, what a save from Neto. Proving why he was chosen ahead of David Raya in this game. A fantastic save from the Arsenal goalkeeper. Rodgers into Watkins. Watkins holds it up. Duran looks to make the move. And Timber's there again. Timber and Saliba at the back are having a blinding game for Arsenal. Aston Villa have been on top, but they find themselves 1-0 down with 5 minutes to go in this first half as Gabriel Jesus looks to break away. Does really well to hold off Pau Torres and Konza there. But yeah, it's been a mixed bag for Unai Emery here because we've been the better team, but we are 1-0 down. Arsenal have a free kick. I don't think they're going to take this one quickly. No, they're not. It is Martin Odegaard standing over the ball. He's got Raheem Sterling with him there as well. But Odegaard, he dummies it. And it's a terrible free kick there from Arsenal. Matson really didn't make the most of that with that easy interception. McGinn pokes it through to Ollie Watkins, who's got runners here. And Aston Villa could potentially do something. Rodgers cuts that one back. Matson, first time cross. Duran, I think he's offside. Timber wins the header anyway. Again, absolute beast play of centre-back from Timber there. But it's 1-0 Arsenal. We've by far been the better team. No changes at half-time as Unai Emery will be expecting the same from his team after pretty much dominating that first half. It'd be nice to see Ollie Watkins a little bit higher up the pitch. But at the moment, it is going well. Evan Ferguson on the bench is ready and waiting if needs be. We've got Jacob Ramsey and Rooney Bargy as well on the bench. Now, the lack of fullbacks could be an option, although Matson does seem to have pretty good stamina. It's on the right-hand side, so we may have to move Konza out if Elias Yalert gets tired and then bring on Diego Carlos or Tyrone Mings at centre-back as Duran does manage to flick that ball out to Bailey, and John McGinn's given a good run inside here. And John McGinn, that pass to Duran was so shit. Ben White draws a free kick from Matson, 1-0 up for them, 55 minutes gone. No, it was just a throw-in that was given as Havertz is on the ball. Nice back heel to Ben White there. Saka, they're working this well, Arsenal. They've kept the ball for quite a while. Havertz into Ben White. That's a lovely ball down the line to release Saka. He's going to try and look for his left foot, and he does. Digs out across, really, really well covered from Leon Bailey there. As Duran does make a move, but Tierney reads it well as Watkins took a little bit too long on the ball. Arsenal players getting in each other's way on the floor. Saka, that's a lovely turn. As Saka holds it up. Oh, Gabriel Jesus is offside. For line though flag late there, but he was just offside. Goes a bit early. Yelert fires it into Duran. A really good pass, but Duran looks like he's getting a little bit tired now. That's a very direct pass up to Gabriel Jesus. Really well defended there. Onana can't quite get it under control. Saka holds off the defender, and Arsenal are getting on top of this game. Duran, Rodgers, Watkins pulled wide again. He's picking up a good pocket of space out there, Ollie Watkins. I would prefer him to be in the box a little bit more. John McGinn looks up towards Duran. Can't win that header. This is going to fall to McGinn, but under pressure from Sterling quickly. Thought I had enough time to bring that one down. So Aston Villa are readying some substitutes on the bench, and well, they've just got to wait for the ball to go out of play. Elias Yelert will make sure there is a dead ball situation by fouling Raheem Sterling, and our substitutes can get on the pitch now. Elias Yelert, second game in a row he's got a booking on that one, but yeah, it warranted, and it makes us allowed to make changes. Timber off for Declan Rice, and a triple substitution for Aston Villa, as Bellingham is on for Duran, Tielemans is on for Onana, and Ollie Watkins has moved up front, and we also made a change of Ramsey coming on the left-hand side to replace Morgan Rodgers. So some fresh legs there as Kai Havertz looks to turn. Rooney Bargy has come on the right for Leon Bailey because he was tired. I think I forgot to mention that one. But, oh, Mikel Moreno, that's some lovely footwork. Sterling shoots, good block, it will be a corner. Corner's taken short from Saka to Sterling. Oh, Sterling's just walked round two of our players there. What is happening? Martinez, massive save. Nobody went towards Raheem Sterling, and Arsenal have another corner. Saka floats this one in. Watkins is back there defending. That will be nice and easy for Martinez to get a hold of. And John McGinn, oh, nearly turned and released Rooney Bargy on the right. Elias Yelert does well with a good tackle. Flicks it away up the line. Good touch from Rooney Bargy to keep that one in play. The new signing, Tielemans, comes forward. That's a lovely pass up to Ollie Watkins. Watkins out to Rooney Bargy again. Rooney Bargy comes forward. Elias Yelert still going. He's done well. Yelert puts the ball through. Ollie Watkins doesn't have much support. Watkins, oh my word, it's horrendous. Ollie Watkins has ballooned it over the bar from inside the 6-yard box. Oh, that is horrendous, as Sterling is replaced by Gabby Martinelli. With 5 minutes to go, we're trying to be super aggressive, but Arsenal, we're just chasing shadows. Konza gets stuck in and does well, trying to get the ball away. Gabriel Jesus just puts a foot in the way, and we cannot break through. It's becoming scrappy, which in real life Arsenal probably wouldn't like, but in this situation they are enjoying it because we cannot get the ball, and I am literally chasing shadows. Martinelli skips around Elias Yelert. Mikel Moreno cuts it back to Odegaard. Odegaard waits for support. Picks out Odegaard again with a 1-2 with Kai Havertz. He breaks through. Martinez, a massive save. And there's like 2 minutes to go. That is not a good pass out of defence. And Martinelli gives it to Gabriel Jesus. Martinez, really good save again. Oh my word. It's going to be a 1-0 loss. I don't think we really deserve it, to be honest. I mean, Martinez has made some good saves, but we've controlled the play. We've been the better team. And that is it. Full time. It's 1-0 to the home team here at the Emirates. Arsenal leave the happier team. Aston Villa will be disappointed on that coach back to the Midlands. Elias Yelert, I thought, had a good game. I'm going to motivate him because I didn't think he played well. I think he kept Raheem Sterling relatively quiet on that side. Duran, he gets caught offside a lot, but we're going to encourage him. He's young. He's learning. We've rejected those loan moves. I do like the options that him and Watkins are giving us, and of course we have Evan Ferguson now on the bench as well. Elias Yelert had a good game. Stop. Oh, we've put him into complacent, so we're going to have to bring him back down to earth at some point. So that is that for the episode. We're going to be back with those two big games in the Champions League against Monaco and Celtic coming up in the next episode, and of course the conclusion of January transfer window with deadline day as well, where anything could happen. But I'll flash up the Excel spreadsheet in the next episode so you can see how the squad is looking with all of our quotas. But we do have space to bring in some experienced older players that we can potentially help to fill out the squad. So I'm going to be doing a lot of sort of shortlisting and scouting off camera, and then we'll be back in the next episode to go through that. I think the January, I don't want to do too many changes. I've probably let more people go than I would have liked to keep it realistic, but it's still a game at the end of the day. We've got to make it fun and keep it interesting. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Any ideas, thoughts and comments, please do leave them down below. Subscribe if you're new, give it a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.